So my belief is, as everyone should be, is that you got to start the new year off on the right foot.
Facts.
Right?
What about the left foot?
So funny. Leave the jokes back in 2023, okay? All right. So I feel like I believe that I did.
Really?
Yeah. Not January 1st because that's a holiday.
Oh, okay.
January 2nd.
Oh, really?
Yes.
It was a good day?
Yeah. So I booked a nice little hot yoga class.
Mm-hmm.
Not 9. Usually I do a little 9 a.m., but they didn't have a 9 a.m., so I did 10 a.m.
That's fine.
You know, it helps you if you're in a wintry area right now and you got like that seasonal depression rut. 10 a.m. You know, makes it a little bit later. It makes you want to get out of bed a little bit more.
True.
Obviously, set my clothing the night before, so I didn't have to think about it too much in the morning.
Yeah.
So I had my beautiful hot yoga class. Only 4 students.
Oh, really?
Me and 3 others. Yeah. They weren't on my wave. You know, people have jobs.
Were you like the worst?
No, I wasn't actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You had like the poses like.
I had the poses. Yeah.
Good.
I had the poses.
That's
like
good.
usually, like I pick the back kind of corner. Usually, so I can look at other people.
Got it.
But this time around, since there weren't, so I set up in the back, right? I set up in the back, and then I saw that the class like just didn't get fuller, and then I was like, oh, okay, the whole row's empty in the back, so let me just move up.
Yeah.
So I moved up to the second row.
One line. Oh.
Yeah, no, I was in the second row.
Got it.
But anyway, because I'm not that good yet. Even though there's like a mirror in the front, I'm not that good yet.
Gotcha.
There was like an older, like 60-year-old something, retired probably, guy in front of me. He had full abs.
That's crazy.
I was like copying him the whole time. But he was also copying me.
Where did you sit in class? Like, you know, first day of school, you can like pick your seat. Like, where you
can't really pick your seat. It's usually
Oh, y'all didn't do that in New York?
No, I mean, some classes. I would usually go in like the middle.
I was like, wait, back.
Yeah, I know. You probably weren't even attending. But anyway, so yeah, I had my beautiful hot yoga class. And then we went to like a Korean skincare. You know, you were there.
We did. I was there.
You went to like just like spontaneous, you know, impromptu,
a
little Korean skincare because you know
Korea
the East Asians, they really know what to do with the skin.
Yeah, that glass skin.
How do you know that?
Yeah,
wow, how do you know that?
You know, I'm young.
Right. But anyway, I went there, right? And I wasn't gonna get anything. I wasn't planning, right? But then I saw a deal at the first store, and it was like, buy 2 face masks, get 1 for free.
Okay, good.
And I was close. I was like, let me just buy it, right? Because how much was each mask? It was like $4, right?
Something like that.
I was like 3 masks for $16 or $8. Light.
Doable.
But then I didn't do it because I was like, nah, it's not worth it enough.
Because you knew better things were coming.
Yeah, exactly. And then we went to and I didn't know we were going to another store after that.
Okay.
So we left, and then we went to another store after that.
Yeah,
and then another deal caught my eye.
Deal? What kind of deal?
So a deal caught my eye, and it was buy 15. Oh no, sorry, buy 10 face masks, get 5 for free.
That's kind of crazy.
So now think about it.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, if I'm being honest, that's kind of the same thing as like buy 2 get 1 free.
No, because the face masks here are cheaper.
But that's what I'm about to say.
Yeah. So, you know, at first I was like, do I need 15 face masks? But then I was rationalizing. I was like, technically,
they're not gonna go bad. They don't
go bad.
Spoil. They're not.
And also, like,
eggs.
if you use like 2 a month, that's really only like
you're set for the year.
6 months of face masks.
Type shit.
You know, that's light work. So then I bit the bullet and I got the face mask.
You feel good?
So 15 face masks for $20. Think about it.
Think
about it. And not just like one style. There was different styles. There was like lemon
style,
cinnamon
flavors.
There's like blueberry.
Gotcha.
There was like ginger.
Gotcha.
You know, they don't do it like that anymore.
You trying to wrap this up? Like
no, that's it. No, that's what I'm just saying. Like, you know, you got to start the new year off.
Start the new year off
on the right foot.
Face mask, Koreatown. You want that glass skin? Ready here at Difficult Dish.
But anyway, wow, second episode of the year. Welcome back to Difficult Dish, a podcast about different South Asian narratives. I am Mahua.
My name is Mosh. No.
Why did you not let me finish first?
Sorry, I got excited.
I
love this podcast.
Today we got an interesting topic, right? But before I talk about this interesting topic, I get first sip because I said so. All right.
Here you go.
You want to do the little like subscribe?
Yeah.
Also, Poppy.
No.
Classic
no, they're not sponsored. That was blurred. Y'all don't know what we're drinking. right here is blurred. Y'all don't see it. If you're watching on YouTube, like the video. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, please. Views are cool. Subscribers, I don't know. Subscribe. Y'all watching the video and not subscribe? That's weird. You don't think that's weird? Subscribe to the video. like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment through.
No weird behavior here.
Say something nice over here. If you like our fits, hair, whatever it is, essential water. If you're listening on streaming platforms, rate, review, 5, 6, 7, whatever it is. Spiel. All that, just like, we love you.
Yeah.
And like, we
hope. Do you love us?
Do you? We hope. We can only hope. We can only have hope and faith in the world. So yeah, what are we talking about today?
All right.
You feel me?
Yeah,
please bring it in.
All right, so today's topic is called the American Dream.
I've heard of that.
The American Dream.
I've heard of that.
We might have heard of it. And the thing that inspired me about this episode, well, first, one of my close friends and I, we were talking about the American Dream, right? She's Pakistani American. I'm Bangladeshi American. She was essentially talking about how her dream is to have like that white picket fence, to have that nice house, to, she has a good job already, have her family and kids, and that's her American dream.
Good morning,
and that's
Sally.
what she wants to achieve, right?
Yeah.
So that got me thinking what my American dream is, right? And then I started thinking about what even is the definition of the American dream? What's the American definition of that, right?
Yeah.
But then also something else that inspired me with this episode, I just told you about this before we started, was the fact that you're finally employed, right? And
thank you so much.
But not just that you're finally employed, but the fact that your job has all these different perks that like I've never really heard of, considering I don't have like a traditional 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll get into it.
But like the American dream really varies, I feel like, for American like white people in comparison to South Asian POCs.
I would agree.
Right?
Yeah.
So you want to kind of talk about like your well, actually no. First, let's talk about like what the American dream is.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So what did you grow up thinking it was?
Yeah, I remember hearing the term kind of thrown around like in like middle school and high school, like in like social studies classes and stuff, and I just came to learn that it's like the American dream is just it's recognizing that you have endless opportunity in America, and you have opportunity in America that you just don't have in other countries and most other countries. Like there's so many countries where like this is illegal, that's illegal. It's just and like if you start a business, like the government can just take it whenever they want. Like so many things just like not allowed in so many different other countries, but America, offers you the opportunity to accomplish pretty much anything, just depending on how hard you're working.
Yeah, I'm thinking about like my first recognition of like what American Dream was. I like think about those old like black and white 60s shows and things like that, and it's like the man with the briefcase going to work. All right, see you, honey.
Yeah.
And like the wife is like
later,
the housewife.
Bob. Yeah,
later. They never say later, Bob. All right, sweetie. See you soon. There'll be dinner ready. And she's wearing like a little apron. There's a nice little like picket fence. He's going into his like retro car, going off to work.
Got it.
And it's very like stay-at-home mother with like the dad going off to work. But you see, it's very like white, right? It's like a very white dream. But then it kind of shows that it's like very consumer based. Like the American dream is for the people that are kind of rich, not rich, but like they have access to money, so they're able to have like these beautiful like polished lives, But I mean, what's the actual definition?
Yeah, I mean, I think the older I get, of course, I'll always have like the, I think things are harder to accomplish in America as a colored person. I've always thought that. I always think that. But I think when you get older, you realize that, like, at the end of the day, you can accomplish regardless of who you are and where you come from. Like, that's why they call America the Promised Land, because you can come here and you can get anywhere, depending on, how hard and how determined you are to work on whatever it is you're working on. So, I look at things like that, and I used to think of it as like super white and super, not for our people. But at the end of the day, like, so many families move over here from whatever country just to have a regular 9 to 5 and like a regular house and like a regular car. And to that's like the dream to them too.
The American dream apparently on Google, the definition is the ideal by which equality of opportunity is available to any American, allowing the highest aspirations and goals to be achieved.
Yeah.
And the example sentence is a workaholic lawyer who seems to be living the American dream. So I feel like it kind of shows how like the American dream is fueled by like corporate life and like constantly working. Because even the example sentence, it says the workaholic lawyer. Like, why did you have to add the workaholic?
Nah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Like, you can only achieve the American dream if you're, like, slaving away.
But I think, we can talk about this later, but I think the term, the American dream, kind of, it expands, like, the older that you get. Like, I think for most people, like, immigrants, white people, whoever it is, like, the American dream is seen as having a well-paying 9-to-5 salary position that offers you benefits, because at the end of the day, like that, there's nothing wrong with that. There's, of course, being like a super workaholic and like dedicating your life to like just working and like slaving away at a job, that should never be something to brag about. But at the end of the day, like I look at people like my sister, like just other people that I know that have a 9-to-5 that treats them very well. They are not stressed about. They get paid. They get compensated very well. They have great benefits, and they have the leverage to pursue other things in their life. I look at that as the American dream, and like, yeah, that kind of falls under the same category of like, what you said, but there's a whole spectrum to it, I guess. But but yeah, I think as we get older, I come to realize, looking at people in like other places of the world, how like I have the opportunity to like work on something that I'm passionate about as much as I want and as much as I can. I have endless opportunity, endless ability to grow in this country. Whereas like, I remember I had this realization. I was in a cable car when I was in Medellin, Colombia, and I was going from like somewhere high, like down to like the base of the cable car. And like on the way down, you're like flying over just like the more mountainous like neighborhoods in the city. And in Medellin, like the higher you are up in the mountain, like the poorer you are, because like less access you have to coming into the city. So I remember just like flying down through those neighborhoods, and I'd never been into those neighborhoods because they're so high up. And just like I'll just like be looking at, and like a lot of the houses didn't even have roofs in them, so you could just see into these people's houses. And I remember I looked into this one house and I saw like this one kid just like sitting on his bed with like a book, and I just had this realization. I was like, yo, like that, like if this kid right there wants to be the next like Maluma or next like Bad Bunny, what are the odds that can happen? This kid's stuck up here, So I'm going on this whole tangent, but stuff like that makes me really grateful to be in America. I'm colored. I'm a first generation. But at the end of the day, I'm not a fucking kid that's stuck up in the mountains with the dreams. I'm here in America with these dreams, So I try to look at it from like that perspective.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Be humble. Yeah. Be grateful.
Yeah, because like you said, like, and like we always say, and like our people always say, like life is going to be harder as a colored person in America. Maybe not, through legislation or written down for like to show us proof, but like we know that there are just gonna be things that we have more difficulty with. But like I've come to a place where like I'm not gonna use that as an excuse anymore.
Just work hard.
And I try to tell everybody, don't use that as an excuse. Like when shit happens to you and you feel like it's because of like the way you look, like that's just that's a byproduct of being here. Cool, we're still here. We're not up in the mountains in Medellin. Like we can make anything happen. Like we're good, So
I think it's interesting how like, first of all, I feel like that gratitude comes like when you're older, comes later on in life, but also second, like we're saying that this is the American definition of what the American dream is, and this is kind of like what we grew up with seeing on media and like, what we thought it was.
Yeah.
But now, as we're older, and now we understand that we're part of a part of an immigrant family, our definition is kind of different from like the norm, because like since Americans are part of more of like an individualistic society, right? We're South Asians and more like immigrant families, they're more collectivist, like they care about one another a lot of people depend on one another and families and things like that. So first off, for most Americans, well, white for the most part, is like they're not really caring about their parents' retirement when they're working.
It's true.
Like that, they're not working towards that goal. Like their main focus isn't like, oh, I'm gonna work really hard and get a good paying job to retire my parents. For the most part,
parents are set already.
Yeah, because their parents
got the 401.
The parents are set, and also like their parents don't really ask their kids for money. Like they don't have that expectation set on them.
Yeah.
Whereas for us, for a lot of like children of immigrants, our goals is to like retire our parents like as soon as possible.
Like the number one goal.
That's like
like the like that is
it's so crazy.
That is what we're working so hard for.
That's what fuels us. Yeah. So it's just so interesting how like, you know, the American dream is that's what we strive for, but our definitions are just so vastly different.
What do you think your parents' definition of the American dream is?
Wow.
Like if your mom comes to you, she's like, "Oh, I came here to give you the American dream." Like, what do you think like she means?
Doctor, engineer, lawyer. You know what's so crazy though? Because I was thinking about this before we started. Do you think that our parents thought of those 3 careers, like doctor, engineer, lawyer, and they want their kids to be that because it helps people, because you have to go through a lot of school and it's like you were very educated, or 3, it makes a lot of money?
That's a good question, my
right?
boy.
I was really thinking about that. I was really thinking about that one because I was wait, before you answer, because I'm thinking, because like my parents always told us to be lawyers or doctors, right? But then I know my dad like also, I mean, after I finished school, like it's not like I was gonna go back to school to be a doctor anyway. He was like, oh, just be like a real estate agent, and you can get like a lot of money selling houses. But like you don't need to put in that much time to do that, but you make a lot of money for the most part if you are good at it. So I was like, but then also some parents don't trust doctors. So it's like, you know, it's like what?
I think honestly, it's dependent on the family. I think for me, it's the second one.
What?
To just show you're like highly educated. And I think at the end, it's just like, it's a buzzword. It's like for like reputation for like your family.
I know it's reputation, but where did it come from, you know?
I think for my family, it's the educated part.
Okay.
I know like for my mom, because my mom didn't have the opportunity to graduate. And my dad is quite well educated. So for that, like they both care about education very, very much. Like my mom would want me to get a PhD in like business and like just like not even ever use it. Like that's how my mom is. My mom is just like, just get the degree. And I'm like, what am I gonna do with it? She's like, it's for fine. Fun. Like you have the degree. Like
it's for fun.
Of course somebody's gonna hire you. So my mom thinks. But I think there are families that think of it the first way, which is, you know, it's just like a helpful thing, and like you look good in like the eyes of society, and like you'll always be in need type of thing. Like you won't ever have to worry about job security. I don't know how the doctor market is.
I feel like the doctor market is crazy.
Like, I don't know if we need doctors right now.
But I feel like even if you have a master's nowadays, like it's not the.
I mean, master's not. Yeah, master's not.
Because you know how back in the day, it's like if you had a bachelor's, like you'd be set with a job. I feel like now with the master's, you're not set anymore.
Yeah, you can maybe get $16 an hour.
Yeah, literally. It's like that just shows. I saw this like one study where it shows like back in the day, mostly like white people that were born here or immigrated here were able to complete their bachelor's and get good jobs. But now that more POCs and people are able to get a bachelor's, they hired it to master's now. And now it's kind of just like furthering the gap.
So do you think your parents want you to be like dumb, stupid rich, or they just want you to be like good, like financially like well?
That's the hard part, because I feel like they want us to be rich enough where I'm able to buy a house for myself, support them as well, but like just be financially free where I don't have to stress about money, because something that we did stress about and worry about growing up was like just money, finances. So I don't think they want me and my brother to go through that. I
have another question. Yeah. Do you think your parents care about like accolades apart from like educational accolades? Like do you like if you become like, if you get on like the Forbes 30 under 30 or something, like is that a big deal for your parents? Or like if you like Times Person of the Year or some shit.
I think so.
Yeah.
My mom was so happy when I was in the Bangla newspaper.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
How about you?
I don't think so.
Really?
I don't think I think my mom like screenshot it and like post it or something.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
But like it won't ever be brought up again type of thing. It'll just be like, if I could have like my bachelor's degree in a frame or like me on the cover of Time magazine, like she's picking the bachelor's degree on the wall. And I'm so serious too. I'm not kidding.
She's picking your 6th grade diploma over that. Like she still shows your
my
English
honor roll, like
your English essays.
My
from
goddamn participation award from 4th grade on the wall. I'm so serious.
That's so funny. So like, we've talked about our parents, their alleged perception, right? Alleged. We don't know unless we have a parent on the guest as a guest pod. But guest pod. But anyway, guest pod. What's your perception of the American dream now that you're older?
I think it's like I remember I was in 11th grade when Wendy's started offering the 4 for $4. And like I just remember being so happy at that time. Like I just remember I remember this like really pure, authentic, just like joy.
That was the happiest he's ever been. Ever will be too.
Nah, cause there was a Wendy's right next to my school, bro. And like nowadays, if y'all got the 4 for $4 nowadays, they skimp that, bro. The sandwich is this big. The fries, they give you 2.5 fries. They give you 2.5 fries. The drink is this much. And they give you like half a chicken nugget. What are you getting with the story? No, at the end, like back then, like it was like a real like chicken, like a real chicken sandwich, like a real.
Or maybe you were so young and the world seemed so vast.
No, I know it's gone down. I know Wendy's. Don't ever hit us up. I'm forever upset. But I think of that as like the American dream,
bro. Actually,
okay. For me, the American dream is
can't believe you had that whole spiel for nothing.
For me, it's really just freedom. It's really just freedom. It's financial freedom, freedom to just do whatever I want, freedom to start whatever I want, freedom to like when I say do whatever I want, I mean like if today I'm like my new goal is to be the most popular South Asian DJ in the world. I can start that right now. Like I start that right now. Whereas like, I heard so many stories when I would go to Colombia. Like my friend Victor would tell me like, his parents started a business and like the city like council just like shut it down because they just didn't want like more competition in the city for like it was like an appliance business or something. And like he told me that like one of the council members family member has a business that offers that same thing, so like the council just shut it down. That wouldn't happen here, like I can do whatever I want. I can work as hard as I want and get as high as I can in like a corporate position in like the corporate ladder.
It makes me think about how like if you were a kid in like Bangladesh in the village or something and your parents didn't have like good jobs like that, you had to kind of drop out of school and help with the family, and that's your whole life, and that's probably like, going to be like your next generation.
Exactly.
And now like what you're saying, you have the freedom to choose, you have the freedom to like
I look at my sister. My sister works very hard in like her corporate job, and I see her getting quite high up in like the corporate life because she has all of those skills and attributes. And like I'm not saying that she wants to, but like I'm sure if she like just focused on that in 10 years she could be like the CFO at like some company. Like I know she can get to that point. And it's like it's so crazy to think about like a Bangladeshi woman being able to do that, and it's like but that will only happen in like America. That wouldn't happen in so many other places of the world. We didn't even talk about how many places in the world are just corrupt. There's Bangladesh is so corrupt. Goddamn, so many South American countries are just so corrupt. The governments are just so fucked. And I'm not saying America's perfect, but like, you can do whatever you want here. And I think that whole statement, like, you just realize it more and more, like the older that you get. Even like with like finances, like we maybe not in school, but like we have so much opportunity to grow our like wealth and grow our like our finances through like the systems that like is offered in America, through like the US stock exchange, through different like index funds and like 401k plans and Roth IRAs and just all this stuff. Like this, it's not offered in other countries. These are all just opportunities for America to help build the wealth of like Americans. Of course, there's unlimited issues with this country and with everything about this country, but at the end of the day, I'm grateful to be here, and I know that I'm capable of accomplishing whatever I want as long as I put in the work. And you just can't like translate that same statement to so many other places in the world.
Yeah.
What about you?
I like that, buddy.
Feel me?
Good answer.
I know what I'm talking about, my boy.
Yeah.
What about you?
It makes me think about how like you have the freedom of choice here.
Freedom of choice.
And that makes me think about how I chose to get my master's, but then I chose to not pursue a career.
You're self-employed.
I'm self-employed. I'm an artist.
Yeah.
Like I have my own business, and there are so many women and just people around the world that don't have the ability to just like give up a secure life, or just they have to give up their dreams in general and just work and help their family and things like that, or get married, whatever it is. So I'm very grateful that I have that opportunity. I think my perception of the American dream is just like security. Yeah. Because like growing up, since I did grow up with more of like a scarce mindset, I was just like, all right, I'll have like a simple traditional job, I'll have a family, and that's it for me. But now I see that there's like more opportunities out there for me because I kind of expanded my horizons, but also I work really hard, and I can see like goodness.
Goodness.
Gracious. Like something that I love to envision is like my future house.
Yeah.
And like
talk about it.
I love doing this like little manifestation trick, where the other day I went into a little designer store, my first ever like designer store that I didn't feel like out of place in, and I was like, wow, what kind of bag do I want to buy for myself one day? Because I've never really bought anything designer. That's a nice little manifestation trick. And another thing that I want to do is like go to my like dream neighborhood maybe, and see where I want to plant the seeds for a nice home.
For you?
So I think oh no, go ahead.
No, I was not gonna say.
You're gonna say
I was gonna say something dumb.
Say it.
No, I was just gonna ask like how many stories in like your dream house? Like what's funny?
Not necessarily stories.
You know what's funny?
Yeah.
In my like childhood home, it's just a 1-story house, flat.
'Cause Florida.
But to get into my mom's room, you have to take like one step down, one step. Yeah. And like I remember I was younger, I used to just like walk up and down that step. I used to be.
What did that?
Because I used to tell people I had a 2-story house.
So you were a liar from birth?
Nah, because I really thought. Right. I remember the first time someone came over and they're like, "Where's your second floor?" I was like,
"You're looking at it."
Yeah, I got disproven, but because of that, I've always been fascinated with like 2-story houses.
Stairs.
I really want a 2-story house. That shit made my dream come true. Yeah.
I remember when I showed you my parents' house back in the day.
Yeah.
You were so like blown away.
Like damn, yeah.
I showed you the downstairs, upstairs.
Y'all have 4
That's not 4 stories.
3. My fault. You had 3.
4.
3. My fault.
Yeah.
3. So God.
I mean, in New York that's kind of like common.
Whatever.
In Florida, it's harder to find that. There's a lot of like just one.
Yeah.
So you want to talk a little bit about like, why I was inspired by this episode? Like after you told me about your perks, your job perks.
It's so funny because like anyone that we've been hanging out with over like the last like month, and they'll be like, "Oh, how are you?" I'll be like, "Good, finally got a job," and like they'll ask me what it is. And like she's heard me say it so many times that like she just answers the question of like what I do, what they do, what my job is, what my position is, what my benefits are. She loves talking about my benefits.
I love talking about the benefits.
She loves talking about my. Do you want to talk about why you love talking about my benefits?
Because so the reason why this inspired this episode was because like the benefits that you have are the American dream. It's just like what people aspire for, you know? Because yeah, the American dream is this like luxurious white picket fence, family, house, secure job, right? But I feel like that's fueled by just working and hustling 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
But then I feel like the new American dream is having like benefits alongside working.
Yeah,
you know? And it's so funny because like I've never heard of these things at all, and especially me doing my master's in teaching. Teachers are highly underpaid. They don't have
their only benefit is just anxiety.
Their benefit is anxiety and being grateful that they have to work with kids, right? And I told my mom about your job yesterday, and she was so excited. And then, you know, she asked me about like this trip that you're going on. She was like, "Oh my God, like what's gonna happen?" And I was like, "Don't worry." Should I spoil this one?
Go ahead.
I was like, "He has unlimited paid time off." And she was like, itiki, what is this? She was like, "Unlimited what?" And I was like, I
didn't know what it was.
That means that he gets unlimited vacation days where he gets paid for it. Imagine that. You're working, but not actually. You get unlimited paid. Obviously, if you do all your work, you can take it off.
Yeah.
I told my mom this.
It gotta get approved.
I told my mom this, and she was like, how does this work?
How does work?
She was so happy, but she was genuinely confused, as was I.
Yeah.
But I'm like, damn.
But not it's cool. I mean, I'll go through some. I got a city bike membership.
Oh wow.
So I got a free bike.
Yeah. You could just cycle.
Yeah, I can cycle wherever I want. You know, so if you see me, you know, going to goddamn Kawa House,
wow.
Like you know, it's not paid for. I get free mental health, free therapy.
You need that.
That's cool.
You can actually put it to use.
Yeah. I mean, like all of like the 401k stuff, the medical, dental, all that stuff. That's the most important. And medical insurance is goddamn expensive. Like,
yeah.
God,
I wouldn't know.
My last company was really good for it. This company is also amazing for it. Medical insurance costs so much, and it's just a blessing when a job can cover it. And yeah, just some other stuff that is very good. But I'm blessed. I recognize how blessed I am, and it's cool. But it makes you think like, some of these companies just got money, man. They got money, and like and they're using it in the right way, like in good way. Like it's not going to like the CEO's pocket, like all this like stuff that like they're making sure that all their employees have these like amazing benefits that make them want to stay with the company. At the end of the day, like that's the point of them, is to like persuade them to stay, and like so they enjoy their time here, so they continue to do a good job. And it's just amazing when like a company thinks that way. The last company I had, they used to send me like $100 gift card every single month just for fun. Like,
but they stopped.
They stopped because
budget cuts.
Money went down. But literally I used to spend $100 a month on just groceries every single month, and it literally saved my life. Like at that time, because that's when I moved out, and like I was like on a tight budget for like everything. That $100 completely saved my life, bro. Life would have sucked if I didn't have that.
But it's so interesting. I feel like the American dream now is like catered not to healthcare professionals anymore, not for teachers anymore, not for
yeah, that's the messed up part. It's like we're taking care of all these people that just sit on their butt on their freaking laptop all day, when it's like
but just watch like our parents, like how the generation was like doctor, lawyer, engineer. There's gonna be a generation, it's probably gonna be us, just telling our kids to be just tech
that's really me.
Workers.
My little cousin, he's 18. He's already into it. I'm like, stay there.
Yeah.
Stay there, and don't be a firefighter. Don't be a
don't be helping the citizens in the world.
God bless them. God bless our firefighters.
Because I think
he's gonna work in tech.
Like our generation, most of us, we value like having a break from work.
Yeah, and like
whereas our parents' generation, people before that, the American dream was just constantly working and making as much as money as possible. Yeah. Whereas we care about the work-life balance, but we also care about making money in the process.
Facts.
Well
said.
I know. I had to drop with that banger.
Facts shit. That's true. All right. Final thoughts. Work hard, but relax.
Rest harder.
Take a break. Don't rest an equal amount.
Imagine resting more than working. All right, so as you guys know, we ask you guys on our Instagram about our topic of the week, and you guys send in your responses, your experiences, your stories, whatever it is. We asked you guys, what is the American dream, but for POCs or South Asians? And you guys had a lot to say, as per usual. So make sure to follow us at Difficult Dish, and then on TikTok at Difficult Dish Podcast.
Yeah.
So we're gonna speed around through some of these because we got a lot of good ones, you know. Someone said, the American dream is to be financially stable and to be able to retire your parents as soon as you can.
Retire them parents.
Yup.
On God.
Someone said, become a rich doctor, and I unsubscribed from that dream almost 3 years ago. You gotta think about it. Is that your dream or their dream?
Think about it.
It's good that you started dreaming for yourself.
Think about it.
Someone said, American dream is brilliant propaganda for immigrants, but is only real for rich white people.
Damn, well said. Brilliant propaganda.
Dang, that's the good one.
That terminology.
Think about that one.
Oh, God.
Someone said, this is a good one, the American dream is a method to exploit immigrants into contributing to a system that doesn't serve them.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Because we see all these jobs that these immigrant fathers and mothers got. These Billies and Bobs are not
Billies and Bobs
out in the trenches doing these jobs.
Mm-hmm. Someone said, for daughters especially, the American, like, South Asian dream is find a job after college, get a husband, a house, and have kids.
Simple.
Just like that. Just like that. Someone said the American dream is building wealth and taking care of your family and not living paycheck to paycheck.
Building wealth. That's what we got to do.
That's all you want, you know, peaceful life with stability, financial freedom. Damn. Good episode, huh?
Yeah.
That was an important conversation.
I think so. Y'all think so?
I don't think we've ever talked about that.
Just listening.
Yeah, non-American listening.
Damn.
But it's just so interesting how our definitions are just so different from one another.
Yeah, let us know what y'all think.
Yeah.
Especially y'all non-Americans. How do y'all non-Americans view America? You know, our Bangladesh listeners, UK listeners, wherever y'all. How do y'all view America? Y'all heard American dream? What does that sound like to you? Got second advice?
What emoji should they comment?
The
American flag.
Hell no.
Can you imagine just American flag all over a comment?
Ew. Drop me a burger. Shout out Wendy's.
Yeah, burger.
Just some burgers.
Burger, and also it relates to America. Yeah, it relates to Americans. That's so crazy. That's like our food.
Oh, shit.
I knew you were going to do that.
All right. Then give 10-second advice.
My 10-second advice is consider doing non-monetary relaxing hobbies.
I like that.
You know, hobbies that don't really need to make you money, but brings you some sort of peace. You know, I've been really in my, like, audiobook era, puzzle era. Good vibes.
Yeah. I got some advice. If you got an idea in your head, use AI to help bring it to life. For all of our, like, artists, but not really artists, AI is amazing, you know. So if you got an image in your head, whether it's like a, you know,
say that right now until it takes over everything.
Like a penguin at a beach, and you just like really want to know what a penguin at a beach looks like, Adobe AI, it'll make it for you. You know, and maybe put it as like your wallpaper.
He uses so much that his trial period is over.
Yeah, I'm done for the month.
Yeah.
But AI is pretty cool. You know, use it before it gets too powerful.
Thank you so much for ending off on that note.
Feel me? Yeah. But thank you guys so much for listening. Let me see those burgers. In Instagram comments on Tuesday, in the goddamn YouTube, in the goddamn I want to see burgers everywhere. Shout out America. We love living in America. America got some issues, but at the end of the day, we're blessed to be here. We're gonna make a lot of money. We're gonna have financial freedom and security.
This is the manifestation that we're telling you.
We're gonna have an amazing 2024, as will all of the rest of you. And we will see you next week.
All right, we love you. Allah Hafiz.